Hi everyone, Stjepan here. I'm going to show you my round 2 game from Hvar. So after round 1, the pairings for round 2 got out that evening, so I actually had time to prepare. Second day is a double round day at most tournaments, so it was the case here as well. And I faced an international master rated 2360. I had a lot of time to prepare and I couldn't decide what I was going to play. My dog is trying to get out. I'm sorry. So I could play e4, and I've been preparing for e4 against him for a long time. And in the end I decided to play d4, and there were a couple of options I was thinking could happen. I started d4, he played knight f6, and I saw when I was preparing that after e6, knight c3, he declines the Nimzo Indian. He doesn't want to get into the Nimzo Indian most often. And I like playing against the Nimzo and actually have a perfect score against it. For now, I have 2 wins after 2 games. So even though he wasn't going to go for this, the other option which I knew he goes for often is d5. And I've been preparing the exchange. Queen's Gambit declined and several ideas in it. So I felt okay. Of course, for the opening, I knew everything, so I know I'm not going to mess this in the opening. But I was prepared strategically for the middle game, and that's what made me confident. That's why I wanted to go into this. Of course, him being the higher rated player, he needs to find some winning chances. And as we discussed after the game, that's really hard in this opening for black. I don't think black can be better unless white makes a serious mistake. And the other thing is, it's very hard to make a mistake here. There are several plans you can go for. So, long story short, takes, exchange. c6, e3, bishop e7, bishop d3, castles, queen c2, this is all very normal. And he threw in h6 here, which doesn't have to be played. I think h6 makes it much easier for white to play. h6 creates a weakness. And it's not as easy to play knight g6, of course. And of course, knight d7 was the main move. So bishop h4. And here he caught me completely off guard. I thought I was prepared for everything. So moves like rook e8, knight d7, stuff like that. But he played a5. And a5 has the idea of playing knight b4 or knight c7 with double control over e6. Of course, I don't have to allow that and have plans of my own. I can play knight e2 to f4 to challenge the e6 square, which I'm not really too crazy about because of g5. But that's something I would simply have to be careful about. It's not as if I lose a piece. But I ended up playing knight f3, and I wanted to go for the plan of knight e5 and f4. And that seemed very aggressive, especially in positions with h6. If you can manage to get a knight on e5 and the Okay, I have to show you my dog. I hope you can see her. She made a mess on the floor and she's scratching my leg to play with her. I'm sorry about that. I'll try to concentrate. Kira. Okay, so what I want to do is get an aggressive position with a knight on e5. If I can play f4, then that means that castling queenside and playing rook g1 and g4, g5 become serious options. Okay, my opponent played knight a6. I played a3, just preventing knight b4. He played knight c7, which is okay, and now knight e5. And if black doesn't do anything here, then white should have a clear advantage. The only thing black could play is knight g4, which he played instantly. If I'm trying to make a stupid move, let's play, I don't know, knight e6. Okay, then I go f4. And let's say, okay, knight e6 was a terrible move. Let's go back. I just want to show you what I mean. So now I castle queenside, and my plan is very, very simple. So that could be one scenario. So he has to play knight g4 basically. Okay, now I'm forced to trade everything. Bishop e7, queen e7, knight g4. If I don't play knight g4, he wins a pawn, because on f4 he has f6, and eventually I think, well, actually, I thought I couldn't do this. I just took on g4. This I'm not that worried about, or I wasn't that worried about, because I can just play queen e2. But yeah, maybe this isn't full compensation for the pawn. In any case, I took on g4. He played bishop g4 and I castled. And now I have to start a minority attack because the other plan of playing f3, e4 is never happening. And also a kingside attack is never happening because I have no more pieces. I traded off all of my attacking pieces. Rook fd8, knight a4. I want to dominate b6 and c5. He played knight e8. I'm not really sure what he's trying to do. I thought he wants to play knight d6 into c4, but I'm controlling that. And here I played what we agreed was the critical move and a very good move. I played h3. Bishop h5 is impossible because I win a pawn. Bishop h5, g4, bishop g6 and takes twice. Bishop f5, I can just take it. And if he plays bishop c8, I go knight b6. If he goes bishop e6 or knight to or bishop to d7, I go knight c5. And that should give me a clear edge. He played knight e6, I played knight c5. In this position, after the game, he said he thought I should be slightly better after b4, after knight d6, that I should play b4 here. But I took on e6 first. If I do go b4, then ab, for example, rook b8. The idea is I could give up a pawn, so this could be good because I'm going to get the pawn back like this and put pressure on b7. But what I found during my analysis is that I can actually go rook a5, and this should be better for me because if he plays b6, then I can take on e6 and take on c6. But in any case, I ended up taking on e6, queen e6, and I played b4. Of course, this shouldn't be taken because I'm gonna play b5 without any consequences. So rook dc8, rook fc1, and b5. And this is a very well-known position or type of position in which white has a great way to have a small advantage, which is impossible to convert, basically, which we both knew. And I went for it and offered the draw, and he accepted. So the way to do this is to play ba5, rook a5, and then a4. And the only side that can play for a win is white, but there's almost no way to win. So for the moment, I'm threatening to take on c4, and he has to probably play rook ca8. And now queen c6, knight c4, queen e6, fe6, rook b1, ba4, takes. Now this, I cannot win this. This is, and the engine says it's completely equal. It's just, I could have gone for it, but it's a double round day, and I'm playing someone rated 2360, so I offered the draw because eventually, after 3 hours, we would have drawn it anyway. Okay, I'm having a lot of distractions here, and I cannot concentrate at all, so I'm going to stop here. I'll see you for the afternoon round tomorrow. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye-bye.